Welcome into this edition of Devil's Digest TV. I'm joined by Arizona State women's basketball coach, Charli Turner Thorne. And coach, it's been a difficult time for everyone over these past few months, but how have you been doing?
Yeah, it has been for multiple reasons, but yeah, getting through it. I think like everybody getting through it, there's been a few silver linings, in terms of getting off the superhighway and, getting a little slowing down a little bit in some ways, but in other ways it's been, gosh, kind of almost busier and more exhausting with virtual everything. and also not being able to be with people. We're so used to be able to be with donors and fans and players, and everything is just from a distance. So but it's been going well, thank you.
And how have you been keeping in touch with everyone, given donors, players, whatever? Have you just been doing, Zoom calls after Zoom calls?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we've had a couple town halls with season ticket holders and donors, and those have gone really well. And just calling people and checking in on them, I think, has been important. And that's the same thing we're doing with our players. We've done some Zoom calls, and then, we're just checking in with them probably a little more than we normally would in their downtime. With basketball, when this all hit, of course, we missed out on the NCAA tournament, and that those five seniors, I just don't have words, because we were going to get good and healthy, and we were going to make a good run, and everybody that knows us knows that. But other than that, we kind of go into our downtime. So like some people, their seasons got cut way short, or they didn't get a season, and it's just a whole different cycle. I mean, we actually transitioned into a window where we usually don't do a lot anyway. So I think that window has probably gone longer than most years, because players just don't have facilities and stuff. But yeah, so the NCAA ruled that we get summer access starting July 20th.
And over those Zoom meetings, just what has the mood been?
Well, we have 7 new players. So we have 14 players, 7 are new. So it's been a great mood. It's a lot of freshness, newness, excitement, and it's really just been about getting to know each other.
And starting July 20th, you are allowed to do 8 hours a week of workouts. It's not the biggest amount of time, but just what do you plan on doing, and what do you plan on instituting in those workouts?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to just start slow. We'll start really slow because, these players, like I already mentioned, haven't really been in gyms and had a lot of time to do their normal routines. So I think we'll start slow, and it's always our goal in the summer to just improve individually offensively, and, kind of hopefully put in our playbook a little bit. And, this year, I mean, we kind of, honestly, we kind of need to look at what we have. We have so much newness, and we have some players recovering from some surgeries and stuff too. So we won't have everybody completely out there, but it'll just give us a good opportunity to kind of see what we have, and just kind of get going. Shooting, we need to shoot, and teach. We'll really only have them for a few weeks, and then some of them, if they stay out and they don't go home, we actually get that August window, which we haven't really utilized in the past. But we'll probably, if some players want to be in the gym with us, we'll get some extra time with them on the back end this time.
Cool. And so will it not be that much different than a normal year? Because I don't remember which player told me this, but I just remember them one of the players putting an emphasis on just how the off season for you usually is just, individual and, shooting wise and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of that. I think, we'll probably try to do a little individual defense with the offense. And, like I mentioned, playbook, we're still working on protocols and stuff like that. How many people will be able to be in the gym and everything like that. I don't think we're too worried about any pickup or scrimmaging and stuff like that. We just really want to start slow and, yeah, and I mean, everything comes down to an individual fundamental when you win a basketball game. So the bottom line is you got to be able to put the ball in the basket. So there will be plenty of individual offense.
And the real big issue in this country right now is social justice and everything. And I've noticed that you've had some really good Twitter tweets about the Black Lives Matter movement. How just important is it to you to support that?
I mean, it's important for everybody to support that, Jesse, but we know that's never going to be the case. And, I'm old and I've grown up through, the Watts riots in LA, and, I've seen this injustice my entire life, and we just haven't moved the needle very much, in my lifetime. And I'm just excited right now, to be honest. Just, I've not seen our younger generations be so engaged, so active. And I just feel like we have more things in place right now than ever, at least in my lifetime, to actually effectuate some change. And be it through, well, through a lot of different arenas. But the protests and everything are great, but I think action plans, and I feel like sometimes maybe in my lifetime it's kind of stalled out, and I just see it building momentum, and that's just really, really wonderful. It's great to see, and hopefully it'll continue to snowball, and maybe we'll even pass the uh, equal rights amendment, excuse me. I said that backwards, because that still hasn't gotten passed in our country. So we're, in terms of, you know, tolerance and love, towards diverse populations and inclusion towards people with different lifestyles. I mean, we're not there, but it's good start. I mean, good momentum right now, I should say.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And switching back over to basketball, recruiting has obviously changed during this time. Just what have you done to adapt to that?
Yeah, great question, Jesse. I mean, Zoom calls, Zoom virtual visits. So we kind of rebuilt a presentation, because home visits back in the olden days, you go into the homes, and well, actually Angie Nelp and we did 3 home visits, March 12th, March 10th, 11th, and 12th. That was crazy. But now it's all virtual visits, Zoom, which has actually allowed you to probably do more than you normally would. It's not the same as person to person, but it's been probably given us a little bit more, an opportunity to visit a few more people, try to bring ASU to them. We have videos and different slides and things that we show them on our virtual visit. And I think you just have to work harder, because the reality of it is, Jesse, that we don't know if these 2021s are going to be able to visit our campus in the fall. So we're really working hard to try to give them the information that they need, to probably make an educated, decision without an official visit. And that's the world we're in right now.
And a little bit more of a fun question, but what have you been reading or watching over the past few months that you recommend to someone else?
Okay, I've got 3 books that I really, really liked. I've talked about these a little bit on my own social media, but It Takes What It Takes. I really like that book, and Striving for Excellence. And those are more, geared towards achievement books. And then more, kind of a work on yourself book is, and actually I got to give a shout out to Candace Richardson, Riley's mom, who, I stay in touch with, and she's just a great supporter, and she's now lives in the Valley and has, her real estate business. And so we were talking, and she's like, Charli, and I usually give her book ideas. So she gave me a book idea, and it's You're a Badass. And it was like, I'm like, okay, but I've actually bought it for like 5 people already. It's really a funny book, or I guess what people would call fun reading. I finally read Dare to Lead by Brene Brown, and that was unbelievable. I love that book. I really recommend that book. And then Bob Goff is someone that I just kind of got introduced to, and Love Does and Everybody Always are a couple of his books. that are faith-based and inspirational. So I don't know, there's a couple.
And just last question, what's the positive message that you have for Sun Devil Nation right now during all these crazy times?
This too shall pass, Sun Devil Nation. We, yeah, I mean, we're a strong, resilient um, group, and not just the Sun Devil Nation, but our country and the world. And, there's been moments in time, with horrible diseases and stuff. And obviously we've never been, you know, more smarter, had more science and technology and everything behind us. So I'm just really hopeful. I'm really hopeful that, we're going to be able to see sports come back. I really am. And I mean, we are eventually, but even, maybe sooner rather than later. So I just encourage everybody really to abide by the CDC guidelines, wear your mask, stay socially distanced, wash your hands. I mean, I believe those things work. And the sooner everybody does that, Jesse, the sooner we have Sun Devil sports back. So that would be my message for today.
Great stuff there. Thank you, Coach, so much for doing this. This was fun.
Yeah, great to see you. It's good to see you. You look good. So
Thanks.
take care of yourself. Okay?
Thanks. I'll try.
All right. Okay. Bye, Jesse.